Hey, what's up, Reefers? Just like Groundhog Days, we are once again heading into New York, this time for a concert. I'm actually gonna have a chance to visit a awesome Reef Tank. And I'm also gonna meet up with Danny in New York to finally drop off some corals for him. And here, I packed a lot of water because today is damn hot. While we are once again at a supercharger to charge up a car, perfect time to really quickly go over some of the corals that I'm bringing today. The main mission of today is to deliver this, the Bahama Llama's Whipping Willow. I promised Danny a frag for a long time, and finally I'm just happy that I can deliver on the promises. Next up, we have a chunk of the supposedly Fiji yellow leather. It is for the most part still tan, but I do see it kind of have that canary yellow popping up at the base. Anyways, I want to get this into his hand to see if he has any luck coloring this coral up. So this is the Fiji yellow leather. Finally, we have the classic goldenrod and the copora. That is probably my most presentable coral frag in terms of SPS. You may be wondering, hey, Inappropriate Reefer, there's one extra coral. What is this? Danny actually hooked it up with a tour of a absolutely gorgeous SPS tank today. So we cannot go empty-handed. So here it is, another frag of the goldenrods to accompany the trip. So let's get all these corals back into the box and we are ready to hit the road again. See you in New York once again. In the interest of time, we pick up some awesome Hong Kong food from, what is this? HKS Kitchen. We're at Staten Island. We are like a couple blocks away from Pieces of the Ocean, but unfortunately we're running a little bit late. So we are just gonna go ahead.
Running a bit late. Someone went to the wrong turn.
Look at this curry fish ball. Oh my lord. I guess Neon's ready for some too, huh? Curry fish ball. Ooh. Is it good though?
Sauce okay.
So we're now gonna head over to the financial district. Oh, look at this, we didn't even see this. There's rice in there. And this is, of course, French toast. Yummy. All right, anyways, start driving. We're getting a serious Groundhog Day vibe, except for my hair. You guys like my hair? They're making fun of my hair. Mom is inside the hotel to check in. Hopefully she does not need me, and then we're gonna unload the stuff, and then we're gonna head off to Flushing, get some really good food.
創作自由俾我嘅，點解？
濕嘢濕味啊！
太遲啦！通常影濕味都係啲鄉下仔先會做嘅嘢。啲濕味日日搭有咩咁好影？ Got this big crab, and then there's a little shrimp right here.
有響我
Oh my God, what's going on? I've never seen him flash. He's a super male rhomboid. Yep. He's going after the Lenardi. That's crazy.
She's up. Wow. So would you say you're a big fan of Wrasse? It seems like a lot of different types in here.
I love Wrasses. You know, this is a super male. There's a female here. That's the male Johnsoni. Where's the female? There are some females on the other side. But that guy haven't turned into a full male yet. That's a rare wrasse. That's
one right there.
That's the Bell's wrasse, which is he's starting to color up now a lot more than I had him before. He's turning more red, and you can see the blue on the fins. That is one of the most beautiful wrasses when they're fully. This is the Femininas.
Do they need a female in the tank in order for them to turn kind of like a super male?
The more, yeah, if they do, they turn into a better male, a better super male. Otherwise, they'll turn into just a male.
Did you have a sister?
And this tank, you were telling me how old this guy is?
That guy is from 2008.
2008.
How old are you?
Yeah.
My math is bad.
He's the oldest.
15, 16?
Yeah, it's about 16 years old.
Wow. Do you have any issue with hippotang nipping the corals? That's what I started hearing.
He's too big. He doesn't nip, but he knocks things out. Like you see, I just glued this piece because he knocked it out. Glued that piece, he knocked it out. Because the reason there's this layer here,
Yeah.
this space, is because that's where he sleeps.
Okay.
So he backs in there, and he just sleeps standing up.
I see.
That's why I can't put nothing there.
I see. That's interesting, because like
Yeah.
mine is maybe like half your size. It likes to wedge itself in SPS as well.
Yeah.
And one thing he does when I feed the tank, if I feed from the top, it'll go up and then turn around and splash water.
Yes.
Dive into it.
Like,
One of these
there
days.
are nights that he sleeps like in this V shape here. I don't know why. Maybe the lights go off before he gets in there. Then I'll have these antias, which they're called the Hachi antias. They're also called green antias, which is very different than that typical orange or pink or.
Oh, that's what. At first I thought are these lead tails, which is what I have, but then it looks a little different.
Those are the Hachi.
It does have a different sheen to it.
Yeah. Some people call them green.
Green, right?
Yeah.
I can't see that. This one's beautiful. What kind of Wrasse is this?
That's the Ramboid.
Rambo.
That's the Ramboid. That's the super male. The female, it's less colorful, but
What's your oldest coral in here?
oh boy. I think probably the Slimer, Bird's Nest.
Yeah.
These were all original
Yes.
ORA.
Okay.
Stylo.
Yeah.
This is impressive.
I like the diversity here. The Pachysceras.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to all form, but they could see that piece is growing over the chalice, so I gotta break it off.
I see some green Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the daring that was
That's not
going on.
supposed to be there.
Did somebody snuck it in there?
Yeah,
It just kind of hitchhiked?
But probably hitchhiked, and I'm not gonna be able to get that. So I
Yeah.
hope it just does not keep going.
I'm starting to look at your rock work, right? I mean, it's amazing here, so that I was like, focus here. I started looking at rock work. It seems like you use some of these meme ones with a mix of different types, or?
This is a closed
No,
loop
because
system.
that's the closed loop.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
These are pipes.
Oh, that's a lot of.
These are pipes.
That's just been
blowing-
encrusted
They're
over.
throwing
Yeah.
flow. There are here. They're underneath. Like below this, there's a pipe there blowing in this way. There's one in the middle of the aisle, and as you go around the tank, you'll see them all on the bottom. And I think one of the reasons why this tank have been maybe more successful in with all the age and the years, that have been running, is that because there is flow from underneath, and then there's flow across the top. So it's like to get flow in these areas with power heads,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible.
Because your SPS
Because
is
you're
really
going to
dense.
be blowing sand all over
I
the
see.
place.
Is there a particular reason you went with a sandbed versus bare bottom?
I like nature.
Just like the
nature.
look, right?
Yeah.
Look natural.
Yeah.
Are there
Also,
certain-
I love the Rasses.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, yeah, you could put a tray and stuff like that, but I like it. I like to look at it like it's nature.
Yeah. Are there certain critters you use to keep the sandbed clean, or?
Yes. I always believed, like I always said, when we got together, is like one thing we don't do, most hobby, is to spend money on things like that, right? Like the Sarah snails.
Yes.
They're in the sandbed. I spend close to $1,000 a year in replacing,
Oh wow.
snails and things like that, inverts. So this tank is 180. There's approximately 200
Oh wow.
snails
That
in
you have a
sandbed.
crew. Do you specifically feed them though, or you just kind of let
No,
them?
once you feed, they come out.
Okay.
So people then tell me, do you siphon your sandbed? I never siphon the sandbed.
Because they just pop out and.
So
stir
they're
it up.
turning that sandbed, and keep the sandbed aerated. I've never siphoned this sandbeds, vacuumed it, nothing. I mean, look at this sand. It's
Have you
15 years old.
Have you changed any of the sand?
No.
Or added sand?
No.
Really?
Oh, backing up a little bit. You meant how long have this tank been up? And you mentioned that you reset it every.
It's from 2008. That's when we built it, and I reset it every 2 years.
Okay.
You know, like I did these corals. I think it was in November.
Okay. November.
Because I was in Europe, you know, my father was ill, and when I came back, I was not happy. And then, you know, my chiller crapped out, and I lost a lot of corals because they were already stressed from when I was away.
I see.
It was like a domino, one after the other.
So the reset.
So at that point, I just said, you know what, let me redo it.
I see. So it's not like you have a schedule saying that every 2 years I reset it. It's more like as needed.
The reason I said every 2 years is because every 2 years it gets so heavy. Because, you know, you can clip, but how much can you clip? You know, you cannot get rid of these corals. You know, you give them away, you still have too much. So every 2 years I redo it. Wow, look at him, he's flat. I never saw him flash.
Everybody's very excited for our visit.
Spring is here. Well, summer, but.
Wow. And that angelfish is a jaculator. Angel. That's not a bicolor.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a jaculator.
I thought it was bicolor.
No, that's a jaculator angel. Look at the eyes of it.
It's like a nice blue to it.
That's also a very rare angel, and they don't come around. That's almost becoming rarer than a gem tank, black tank. It's a tough fish to get.
And where do you typically get your fish? Is it like local fish store or online?
No, I mean mostly online. TSM Aquatics in New Jersey, they bring in a lot of rare fish. Sometimes I order them. You know, I say I want this fish, and when they come across, they collect them. You know, they'll get me one. Because, you know, as you know, not every fish is available all year long.
Of course, yeah.
You know, like they're all seasonal.
I am a huge fan of that blue-eyed cardinal.
It's one of my
I keep
favorite
looking at it.
fish.
I keep looking at it.
One of my
Red
favorite
fin.
fish, and people just ignore that fish. It's just truly a fascinating fish. And when they school together, they're cool.
Especially if you have a tank as colorful as yours.
Yeah.
There's a nice contrast, right? Just like
Yeah.
a patch of silver moving across, and the bright blue eyes and the yellow marking is beautiful. Any tips in terms of getting the blue eye cardinal and also keeping them?
No, they I mean, with all the blue lights that we use, they show more blue eyes, I think. But you know, like you see, they stick
I love
together.
that. Yeah.
But there is one, it's always, which was the oldest one, doesn't stay with them. But at night, they all group up.
I see. So usually they kind of show pretty tightly.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful. Do you feed them anything particular, special, or just regular?
It's regular frozen. I don't do pellets, I don't do flakes. I am very low on nutrients, so I need to raise nutrients, so I do only frozen food. You know.
That's actually a nice segue. Can I ask what's your basic parameters? Because I feel like that's like a...
Parameters, it's like, I like to keep it 100 to 1.
Okay.
So nitrates, I like to be around like 5 ppm, and phosphates at 0.05.
Okay.
So it goes lower than that, and the highest is around that, you know. But that's basically where I like to be.
And how often would you do these tests?
I send an ICP test every other month.
Okay. Oh, that's it. You don't do any like at-home tests for nutrients?
The nutrients I do, nitrates and phosphates, maybe once a month.
Okay.
Because the corals will tell me.
That's a lot of really good
The corals will tell me. When I
okay.
start seeing like the pinks or purple's missing or the reds are getting faded and things like that. I know I'm missing on certain elements, but
How about alkalinity? Is that something that you test for as well, or just
Which
kind
one?
of alkalinity?
alkalinity, I basically had the Trident,
Oh, okay, got it.
you know.
So it's been working well.
I don't test.
Got it.
I don't test. I mean, I go by it. So if it's not accurate, it's within range.
Okay.
You know, so I like to keep it around 8. You know, like I have a Kimura parasilic pump also, which crapped out this morning, so it dropped to 7.5.
Okay.
So now I'm trying to climb it back, you know, to 8 overnight, because during the day there's no way you're gonna get it to 8.
I see.
You know, they're all
Consuming, right?
They're consuming.
And are you doing
I'm doing
calculus?
calcium reactor
Calcium reactor.
and Kalkwasser.
Okay.
And right now I'm dosing like 80 mLs per minute.
Okay.
You know,
I'm doing 5. 5 hours. And I'm only doing at night.
you know, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It consumes a lot. I mean, I
Wow.
fill up my reactor every 2.5 months max. It just, like right now it's already like half empty, and when it gets to half empty, it's very hard to keep it up.
I see.
So I gotta refill it. You know, you can't. You know, it's just like one thing in our hobbies. Like they tell you, oh, this reactor is good for 300 gallons.
Right.
It's not
It's
true.
not.
It's what's in that 300 gallons. How much is the population?
They're not expecting this.
No.
This is crazy.
You know.
Wow. I think like for SPS Hank, I'm a huge fan of larger colonies. To me, I feel like the size, the form trumps color. We
Right.
have both.
You know.
We have the maturity and also the color.
Yeah.
Especially on the other side. I know we were talking
Yeah.
about which side is favorite.
Victor from Worldwide Coral was here, and he said the same thing. He says the color is on point. He goes,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
you're not,
beautiful.
You know, you see your videos. It's not like you're coloring the videos.
Yeah,
and
you
you're-
did saturate it.
you know,
This
you know,
looks-
so he goes, no, everything seems to be on point.
Can we swing to the other side?
Sure,
So-
of course.
All right, here. All right, here's the other side. Like, I was telling Tusi or Mr. Joe, Mr. Joe,
Joe.
Joe, all right. That I prefer this side simply because I see some tablings. I'm just a big fan of the table look. That to me that feels like the stereotypical.
It's a
bridge, I
different
guess.
dimension.
Yeah,
you know, it's
I
like
like it.
steps. You know,
Man, it's absolutely breathtaking. Do you have a favorite piece of coral from this tank? At the moment, I know it changes.
it's tough to say. I love them all. One of my favorites at the moment, I would say, which you're gonna laugh. This coral here, it's a very unique, and we don't know what it is. Now, some people will look like a tricolor, but it's not a tricolor. And that's right now the coral that I'm keeping an eye on to see what it's doing.
Is it a wild coral or?
It came from Indo, but we don't know what it is. I mean, people would think that I was gonna say the Tusi rainbow granulosa.
Oh, you have your
you
name
know.
coral.
Yeah, well, I didn't give it the name.
Ah,
Some guy gave it the name for me.
that's really cool too. I've never seen that.
Yes, it's
Mondigitata, and this.
yes. This is the you're talking about this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a grafted
It's nice.
digitata. The other favorite coral on the other side, which is the
Oh, let's come on over.
Northern Light granulosa,
Which one is that?
which is this guy here.
Oh, that's beautiful too. I like the gradient.
That was originally given that name by Vivian, and they lost a mother. I was able to grow it from a frag. A friend of mine had it, and then he lost. It's a very slow grower, but the thing is incredible. If you saw that from the top down, is just insane.
I can definitely see some of this. It's beautiful.
It's one of my favorite corals.
It's awesome. I just like how much texture
Yeah.
the tank has as well. Hey, I like the
Yeah, the blending.
just hanging
blending
out.
goes in there, which means this pipe is clogged because
Oh,
otherwise,
otherwise it won't be able to sit there.
You wouldn't be able to go in there.
Well, how much time do you spend on maintenance on this tank every week or let's say month?
Saturday I do spend when I'm not working or Sunday a good most of the day.
Oh, most of the day.
I stay
Okay.
down here. It's cleaning the glass or scraping algae and things like that, or moving things around. I enjoy it. It's my therapy.
Got it. I totally understand, especially after I have kids. I'm like, oh, I gotta
it's
work on the
like-
tank. Excuse me.
It's like I showed you on the knee. It's a simple tank. I mean, it's really a very simple tank. Honestly, people think that
Whoa.
so basically,
Oh.
all it is a 20-gallon, 25-gallon freaking old ocean.
I was expecting like a fancy sump. Well, I guess lots of nice stuff here, but
Yeah.
the tank itself is.
How long you been doing this, Tusi?
2008, and I be honest with you, I knew nothing.
Really?
I learned this
How did you get your information in the
because
beginning?
I was like learning from hobbyists. I really didn't, and then you create things. And like here I have the old GHL dozer.
Oh wow.
That's the original. I was probably the first guy that got the GHL.
How long ago is this one?
That thing is like at least 12 years.
Still running. Still running well.
So it's the best product.
That's awesome. That's nice.
So that's
I wanted one of those.
The
That's
patch
nice.
Balaam.
How do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. That's
Grows
why I
algae well.
have no nutrients. So basically my calcium reactor drips into it so the algae grows even faster.
Oh, I see.
And then removes also some CO2 before it goes into here. So it keeps your pH a little bit better.
What is your pH range?
pH never goes below 8 at night. It's always 8.02. So it's around 8 at night.
Got it.
During the day is from in the morning 8 to 8.3, 8.3.
Got it.
So I'm happy with that because I always had a rough time with pH being in the basement.
And you don't run like airline outside or okay.
I do have like, you see the skimmer,
Oh, I see.
have the pipe, that's going outside,
Got it.
all the way out.
But you're not scrubbing with like. No need. Got it. Yeah. Are you a believer of water change?
No,
Only as needed.
I don't, but like I was at the show at Reef Palooza, so to take calls you have to empty water.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that's the part I hate about that having to make a show. Because I disturb the whole tank.
Got it.
And you lose. I always lose calls when I go to a show
I
because
see.
of that.
Of the-
I'm not a believer of water changes. I mean, I do water change maybe every 3 months, just a small water change, just to siphon when I need to do maintenance, like
I see.
siphoning
Siphon
the bottom
dirty
of the
stuff.
fractant, so I have to do water change. Other than that, probably I wouldn't even do a water change.
I noticed you have a lot of supplements down there.
I dose a lot of like potassium iodine, iodine it by itself, potassium by itself.
Do you do traces as well?
I do some traces like a little fluoride, little boron, little zinc, manganese. Because when you have this, that also removes all the minor elements. So manganese, iron, iodine, it gets depleted, and all the smooth skin corals, they need that shit.
I see.
So like recently I made a little boo-boo, a newbie boo-boo, where I emptied this and put milk,
Put
put new, algae in the reactor.
okay.
Oh boy.
Different type of algae, or
No, the same thing, but there was room for it to explode, to grow.
Oh, I see.
So it starts stripping the water so fast that I started losing corals.
What was the stripping, if you don't mind me asking?
Well,
Just
it will
curious.
strip manganese. It
Manganese,
will strip,
okay.
iron. Like for example, like you get
plants,
iron,
right.
manganese, and potassium and all the minor trace elements. They get stripped. It throws everything out of whack.
Got it.
But now it kind of settled because again, it filled up.
Yeah, and then it's kind of reached equilibrium,
So,
self-limiting in some way.
So then, what I normally do is that when I start seeing my nutrients starting to like climb up, a little bit higher than where I want them, I'll open up, remove a little bit,
Not a bunch.
not the whole thing.
I'm still learning that. Every time I'm like, maybe I can take a little bit more out, a little bit more out, and then it's always a swing.
Because it's kind of the same thing when we were doing Rolla.
Oh, yes.
When you're never supposed to change the whole reactor of Rolla
Oh,
because then you're going to strip.
okay.
So the best is to like maintain it. When I was doing it with Roa, is that I used to check the effluent coming out. When I start seeing a reading, is when I change a little bit, and then you continue, and then it goes back to zero, and then you start seeing a reading again. Change a little bit more. When you change the whole thing, that thing is stripping everything, and
There's a
like
big
I always
shock.
say, we only know how to test, and we see zero.
Yeah.
But we don't know how below zero is.
That's true.
How below zero is zero.
That's
We
a
don't have testing for that. So sometimes it's better to have a little reading than zero.
That's a great
You know.
point.
But the rest is basically, trace elements. I mean, I do the A and K, tropic marine. I've been doing this from the beginning, and I truly believe in it. So,
They make good products.
they're good products. And then to keep my nutrients in check without doing that raw, because I hated cleaning it in the wintertime especially. I do, Tropic Marine make a product called Bacto Balance.
I use that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really works.
I wasn't sure if it's working because
No,
I
it
can't
does.
really, but I just
Does
trust
work.
them. I'm like, all right, I'll just use
I've been
it.
doing Bacto Balance for many years. And do very little Nopox. Basically, I use Nopox more of a carbon source. And as you can see, I mean, it's an old tank which full of detritus, full of everything, and my nutrients are like
You have to,
bare minimum.
you have to add back to it.
you know,
For the trace elements, I see that you have the Reef Moonshiner stuff. Is that what?
I only
is,
do those when I get a test back
right.
and I'm little low on them.
Do you use their recommended numbers, or is it some other?
I just go slow.
Got it.
I should be doing the recommended numbers.
Okay. I wasn't sure because like different companies seems to have different recommendations. So I was like,
I mean, they do make their own charts of how you're supposed to use it. So, in theory, I should. But I only use it very, very small amounts. Only when I see that it needs to be dosed a hair.
Got it.
That's about it. Other than that, I mean, most of the test results, I'm within like 98%. So that other 2%,
right.
it's sometimes my alkalinity is too low to their consideration, or my calcium is too high to their consideration.
Which ICP test are you using?
I like the ATI. I do have a lot of fauna marine, which I want to start doing theirs. But I'm more accustomed to the ATI one. The lighting is again simple, old school.
Oh,
You know.
metal halides.
So it's 2 metal halides with 4 T5s, 3 5-foot LED strips,
You have everything.
reef brights, a little bit of everything.
What kind of meta halide bulb are you using?
Right now I have the 250s. I do switch them. 250s, 400. I'll do like 2 months 250s, 2 months 400.
Interesting.
Because my ballast I could switch it.
Okay.
And been doing it for many years, and I found nice results with them.
What do you notice when you give them almost like a season?
The corals at the beginning when I switched to 400, the corals don't like it right away, but they're already used to that UV and all of that, right? So they get used to it. The reason I do it is to give a little boost to the lower corals.
I see.
A little bit more penetration. But with the 400, I'm running like 1200 par.
Oh my goodness. Wow. How about sandbed?
Set all the way down here, like 250, 300.
Okay.
So.
But how about when it's the 250 bulbs in there? What kind of power level are you reading at the top and also sandbed?
With what I have right now, the 250s, it's about 700 here.
Okay.
And then it starts dropping to about 350, 400 somewhere here. And then it just gets lower, which is fine because, chalices and, these things don't need that much. And that's why I'm keeping a cluster of all the dragons and the smooth skins and all of that because they really don't want more than 300 par.
Yeah, that's one of the questions I really want to ask you, seeing that you like the SPS Master. Light requirements, like right now, for example, I have a lower light tank, for example, like 300 par at the top of the rock.
Which is fine.
What kind of acros would be happy in the tank?
To be honest with you, I think we overpart. This is the thing. I can give 700 par here when I'm safe.
Okay.
If I gave 700 par to the same corals in here with these, they're dead.
How come?
Because it's different.
Oh, the quality of light is different?
There's no UV. These lights will bleach down.
Okay.
So depending on what lighting you're running, and that's why you gotta be careful with when you say par, because to me LED lights par, if you're getting 300 par in an LED, that's like 700 on a meta halide.
Why is that? You mentioned UV.
It's UV. These things don't have UV.
Okay. Does it mean Are you saying that the UV count towards a power reading as well? So this is actually higher?
The energy of the light is softer.
Okay.
So it's like you're gonna go outside and get a suntan under the sun,
Yeah.
versus you go under a light bulb and get a suntan
Okay.
in one of these, places, right? To get a tan, you go under the light.
Yeah.
Which one is doing you worse damage?
Sounds like the light bulb in this case, right?
So I get corals when I take them from in there and put them in here, they will look outrageous, and then in about a month the color is gone.
Oh,
It's not the same.
okay.
And I'm running, let's say 400 par here, right? Now, if I increase that 400 par to be, let's say, higher par, that coral will bleach.
Okay.
And it happened to me with Tenuses especially.
Okay.
So, I think par is a thing, it depends what light. And every company, I think it's different. If let's say you were running the GHL Mitras versus the Radions versus AIs, I think it makes a big difference, or the
Interesting.
Kessels.
So how do you, for example, your hippo tank, like some corals here, how do you prepare the coral in this tank? Do you acclimate it somehow?
Well, this is the funny thing, is that a coral from a meta halide will adjust faster to radions
Okay.
than a coral grown under LEDs to meta halides.
Okay.
it's very weird. I mean, like you take a coral that was grown under radions and put it under metal halides, it will take a good 3 months for it to adjust. Which you should, I would think it would be the reverse, but that's what I've noticed.
Interesting.
But the majority, I try to keep the radion corals under radion corals, and that's why I like when I buy corals from certain vendors, and they say, okay, these are grown under halides.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go buy from that place more so than
I see.
someone else. It's going in the tank.
Interesting. I have not had the pleasure of trying metal halide because when I went to the hobby, it was expensive. But now whenever I want to try, I was like,
electric is expensive, and it's also, I mean, you know, I'm running a chiller 24/7, and my chiller goes outside my house over there, and it's piped all the way to here and back. So, you know, like these two pipes underneath these star polyps, there's two nozzles that's coming out. That's my chiller. So basically, the water's being taken from the bottom of the sump, goes underneath this desk, all the way into the other room outside, comes back all the way under the desk, and it comes up over there.
So when you first started carbon dosing, did you use vodka or sugar or
Use no pucks.
no pumps? Okay.
It's all of that.
Yep.
And this is my little nano here, which I don't have much because we sold a lot at Palooza.
oh, look at this. Beautiful fish in here as well. I remember going to Andrews, I was like, hey, convict tank. You're like, oh, no, not convict tank.
You gotta buy, no, that's a convict though.
Oh, that is a convict.
Yeah, that's a convict.
I'm doubting myself now,
Yeah,
goodness.
no, that's a convict. The problem with the convicts is that you have to buy 10 to get one to live.
Oh, they're that sensitive.
Yeah.
Are these two systems plumped together?
This is one system.
Just different
One
lights.
system.
And do you see the color of the coral changes drastically between the two lighting systems?
Huge.
Huge difference.
Huge. It's a huge difference. I mean, you can't compare.
Oh, you think so too?
right.
Yeah. Oh, I look. Yeah,
right,
Reef
Nino.
Choice Award Tank of the Year. That's right. I remember now.
You won that.
That's right. I remember.
Our friend James.
Oh, that's a shame about his tank. I remember his I think the solar flare. That coral stood out to me.
He had an incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Huge mature colony.
Huge.
Nice color too. And just
I keep telling him to do it again, but he
Yeah.
doesn't want
is he doing okay?
to. He's all right.
Okay.
He's okay. Yeah, he's okay. He'll be back.
Talk about wall to wall, eh? My goodness. It's 2 years growth, pretty much. Oh, this is. Could stare at this all day.
Hello, Nina. Hello,
Say hi.
Nina.
She's gonna sleep well tonight.
Hi.
Thank you. My goodness, both of them.
Nina.
I see you have a little bit of LPS,
Yeah.
but not so much in the display, or
No,
you got-
torches
you
I
have-
used to keep them, but I took them out because they stink too many things.
you got too many corals.
Yeah.
No thought of a larger tank. No, look at size. No, this flow is intense.
It's not gonna be in my lifetime in here. Maybe in a different house, but not here.
Do you have any words of wisdom for people who want to venture into SPS?
Don't rush into it. You know, I believe a tank takes 4 years to be fully mature. It's not true what they say, 1 year, 4 months, a cycle. I think a tank to be stable, I mean, when you say mature, is that it's stable, that you're completely stable. Your live rock, whatever rock is fully saturated, everything is stable with whatever you're doing. You know, whatever you choose to do. If you're doing carbon dosing, you're not carbon dosing, it takes a long time.
Would you recommend people start a tank without SPS and then wait a couple years and then start venturing into
Well,
it?
when I started this tank, it was a softy tank.
Nice.
It was not an SPS tank. So I didn't get into SPS. I probably got into SPS after 5 years. I mean, I used to have a green Neptune on this aisle here that was like up to the power heads.
Gotcha.
You know,
So I made that transition at some
you know.
point.
So then it became the challenge: can I keep SPS? Can I? You know, so it was more about challenge, not so much that I liked one versus the other. Because to be honest with you, LPS tanks are just as beautiful.
Softy
an
as
SPS.
well.
Yeah. Sometimes they're even nicer because
Depth of motion.
there is motion and movement. You know, this is it's a fixed picture. You know.
Well, I mean, there's some like shaggy SPS. Sorry guys, look at that's from this. That's from this.
Definitely, I would say if you're gonna get into SPSs, you should wait till the tank is fully matured.
And how would you know when your tank's ready? Well, it's one of those things that you won't know.
I think you'll know when you start seeing your corals growing, things multiplying, you know, happy. You'll know, you know.
Well, I think Nina's at her limits. I really appreciate you opening the door for us on a Saturday night. Thank you so much.
Please, you know, thank you for coming.
So if people want to learn more about what you do and see more pictures and videos of your tank, where could they find you?
It's Instagram, and my threads are on Reef to Reef.
And you've been Tank of the Month twice, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And of course,
Which I think it never happened before. They gave me that. You know, I'm supposed to be on the Coral magazine, and yeah.
Oh, this tank is featured in Coral magazine?
It's gonna be.
Oh, nice. Excellent. I'm subscribed. So.
And in Germany also.
In Germany as well. Oh, you know, funny thing, when I first saw pictures, I didn't know it was yours. I thought this one was German tank. They always have the nice stuff. So it's really awesome to see a beautiful tank like this.
See, this is the other
We have been neglecting this tank.
hobby that I'm getting into, which is these
Oh
mushrooms.
my goodness.
Which is these mushrooms, and you know, it's the new thing for me, which I'm watching them change color and getting purple in them. How much purple can you get? So this is my like new challenge to see if there's something that I could be doing to change color so much.
I see. Purple is a sought after. It's like the purple monster, right?
Yeah, there's
sought
a
after
bunch
one.
of them, which is the I don't know why they are so sought after, to be honest.
It sounds like it takes a couple of years to develop the purple. Is that true?
I have ones that they came with purple, and then I have ones that I have a little tiny speckle, and it's growing much faster than I thought it would. So I don't know.
They're beautiful.
I'm still learning
Alright.
about them.
We'll keep track. Definitely everybody go on and follow, look at the tank like this, and look at adventures. And he actually dropped a lot of words of wisdom when the camera's not rolling.
Yeah.
So hopefully when the time is right, he'll share. So be sure to follow along.
You know what it is? It's like, I don't want to say, because a lot of them are experienced theories.
Yeah, not quite proven.
You know, they're not proven. I'm not
Right.
a chemist. I'm not, you know, a marine biologist. So I don't
Right.
want to say something that someone say, well, that's not true. And you start a whole, you know, firestorm.
Yeah,
But these are theories that work for me.
yeah.
They work for me. And, you know, so sometimes when they work for you, you think that it's proven.
Yeah.
It's proven only for me. I say one thing.
Yeah.
It does not take too much to have a tank like this. All it takes is discipline and patience.
Those are the two toughest things you just
Right.
mentioned.
Which I don't have none of them.
Well, no,
but
this speaks otherwise.
I've learned to, adjust to that because I knew that if you don't have that, you're not gonna have
Yeah.
That's why I've always had a tank also, because it keeps me diligent
it. Right.
and on track. I can't really slack off because they need my attention.
You can't have a car. This is the best way you can buy. When you buy a brand new car, it's a beautiful, paint job, shiny, spotless. Everything is perfect, right? If you start washing it because it's new, then you start lacking, and then you start lacking, and then you start lacking, and then when you wake up, the paint got damaged. You got stains, you got things, you got scratches, you got that, right? But if you kept going at it from the beginning, the car would be spotless throughout, right? The same thing with the tank. So you can't have a brand new tank paying attention the first month, 2 months, and then you lack. Because when you lack, you're gonna suffer.
Yep. Animal suffers.
And the animal suffers, exactly.
All right. I guess that's it. Thank you, Tusi. I appreciate it. My goodness, she's done. She's the boss.
I'm
She's the
gonna
boss.
give you a few pieces.
Oh, no, thank you. No, because,
Take some.
whoa. No.